Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Third installment has got selections here for Tuesday, October 3rd. For again, today's play of the day. Quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a pretty brutal beat in the NFL with Jason Myers over 1.5 field goals at plus 105 on BetMGM. Myers attempted 2 field goals, missed a 53-yarder in the first half, then made one in the fourth quarter. But he should have had more than 2 attempts because Seattle ended up going for it on 4th and 1 in field goal range in the first half, didn't get it. Then, with about a minute and a half to go, they decided to go for it again in field goal range when they could have kicked a field goal with about a minute to go in regulation. Didn't get that either. So Myers had 2 attempts. He could have had 4, but either way, Carroll ended up bypassing the field goal on 2 separate occasions, and Myers missed a kick. So he finished with 1. Pretty rough. We'll look for a winner here on Tuesday. And for today's play of the day, going to transition over to tennis. Going to look at Shanghai. There are a decent amount of matches taking place in the late night card, and I am going to go with one of them. I'm going to look at a matchup between Kokkinakis and Fognini, taking place at around 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this one, give me Kokkinakis minus 3.5 games at minus 125 on Bet365. Time recording of 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take Kokkinakis here, minus the 3.5. First reason shopping around minus 125 is a very good line. The same bet's available at minus 145 on DraftKings here, saving 20 cents, no questions asked. But Fognini has gotten killed by Kokkinakis in their careers, as Kokkinakis is 3-0 in the head-to-head. In fact, he did beat him on hardcore earlier this year, 6-1, 6-2, 6-2 in the Australian Open. So Fognini at this stage in his career, I'll mention it in a second, but he's not a good hardcourt player. He's past his prime, and Kokkinakis is definitely a hardcourt specialist. I think it's a pretty bad matchup for Fognini in this spot. Now, Kokkinakis has not played since the Davis Cup on September 16th, but he was in pretty good form. Now, he did end up having some tune-up matches before the U.S. Open, played in some of those, and he was okay in those. Lost in the first round of the U.S. Open, but did play in the Davis Cup and did perform pretty well. Lost to Draper in 3 sets, very solid young player, and then ended up beating Stricker, who you might remember made a pretty deep run in the U.S. Open. Kokkinakis beat him in straight sets. So I do like the form that Kokkinakis is in, and I do think that Fognini, once again, is going to be in a bit of trouble for this match. Fognini, in addition to not playing much tennis on the ATP level this season, also got injured in his last match. He retired against Misalic on September 21st. So decent layoff for both guys. So I do think, once again, that kind of cancels out. But Fognini also battling an injury, which caused him to retire in his last match, does make me even more skeptical of him performing well in the spot. But Fognini is basically a clay court specialist at this stage in his career, mostly a challenger level player, but he's also only played 1 hard court match since late March. That's at any level, and he lost in the U.S. Open qualifying in the first round. But the point is, Fognini has barely been involved in the ATP level. He's barely played on hard court, and when he does, he has not been good. And now he's accepting an invitation as a wild card to a Masters 1000 event. He's there for the paycheck. It's fine. But I do think, once again, the fact that he couldn't even qualify for the U.S. Open tells me that he probably wouldn't even make it through qualifying here if he had to, and he's only going because it's a Masters 1000 event and he got an automatic entry into it. I think he's in line to get buried here. Kokkinakis is the better player on hard court. Fognini is past his prime. He's about 36. He can't move. He can't serve. The only time he's really on the ATP level now is playing doubles. But I do think when you're looking at this matchup, Kokkinakis should bury him based on the skill gap at this point and the fact that Fognini is once again only playing on clay because he really can't serve and it's easier on his legs, which has been an issue for the past couple of years, including, once again, his last match where he got injured and had to retire. But 3.5 games does feel a bit short based on this talent mismatch, and I am going to go with the favorite because of it. So play that once again here for Tuesday, October 3rd is going to be on Kokkinakis, minus 3.5 games at minus 125 on Bet365. Bye, everyone.